By interesting coincidence, my recent book haul was entirely authored by women.
I'm Foulmouth. F you, motherfucker. Quack.
Howdy there, Marty here, and we're back in this video with what is essentially a book haul video. Recently, I picked up a big stack of books from various different places, bookstores, online, and I discovered, by essentially pure coincidence, for the most part, there were reasons why I picked up each of these books, but coincidentally, they all happen to be books written by women, which I thought was sort of an interesting coincidence and potentially worth sharing. So this video is going to be a little bit on the short side as I'm going to kind of shotgun through these. I'm on the tail end of a cold and then I can kind of feel my voice slipping away from me. But I really quickly wanted to share the books that I picked up, kind of my quick reasons as to why, and then kind of move along. I suppose question of the day, do you find yourself specifically drawn to books written by men, books written by women? Does that do anything for you one way or the other? Does that matter to you one way or the other? Like on paper, like doesn't matter to me. Like I don't care. I would never seek out a book specifically because it was written by a dude. But in this case, there are a couple examples that I did pick up. There's some books here that I did pick up because they were written by women because I wanted a different perspective on things. We're going to start off by the first interesting coincidence, which is I joined the Books Are Sick book club hosted by Nick over there, who's got an amazing YouTube channel. Probably my favorite, top 2 or 3 favorite booktube channels. Just a really cool guy, super down to earth. He's Canadian and a photographer, and you know, it's funny, I was going to show my camera, like, I'm a photographer too, kind of. I'm not like a professional photographer like he is, but I'm using my main camera to film now. God, I got to get on this. This video is going to be too long. The first book that I picked up as part of this haul was Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte. Obviously, an immensely famous and popular book over the years. I specifically picked up the 1847 edition just to see Emily's version of the story. I think predominantly most books in print are Charlotte's later edit, but I wanted to see Emily's original version. This book is wild. It's super wild. Mostly I'm enjoying it, but it's wild, and pretty much all the characters are not likable. But anyhow, moving on. Next book I picked up was The Witches of Echo Park by Amber Benson. Predominantly, I picked up this book because I absolutely love Amber Benson. I love the character of Tara in Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and I'm doing a full rewatch on the series right now, which would be like my 3rd or 4th full time through. And for the most part, I just picked this up because I love Amber, to be totally honest with you. But I did want a flavor that would maybe scratch a similar itch as Buffy. I don't know the genres perfectly, the subgenres, but I think it's kind of an urban fantasy sort of deal. I don't love the printing on this copy of the book. Just it's kind of a small font, but the margins are absolutely massive. And I don't know. It doesn't seem like it's going to be that enjoyable to read physically, but I am looking forward to checking out her writing. The next book I picked up was from Charlotte Perkins Gilman. The main reason why I picked up this collection of stories was for The Yellow Wallpaper, which has been recommended to me a bunch of times. Apparently, it's on the spooky side. Written in 1892, so that's cool. But this book is a collection of essentially all short stories. So I'll read the Yellow Wallpaper first, and then at some point I'll probably work in some of the short stories. But that's kind of neat. Next thing on the hit parade is Small Things Like These, which is a very popular book on YouTube, it seems, by Claire Keegan. Predominantly, the main reason why I picked up this book was just because it's short. I'm kind of working on something that might end up being a little bit on the shorter side, so I wanted to see kind of how someone else kind of told an economic story, as in terms of the length of economics. But it takes place in Ireland in the 80s, and it has sort of a quaint, the way the story seems to be presented is really quaint. And yeah, it's been recommended a lot, so I wanted to check that out. Next book on the list is Black Girls Must Die Exhausted by Jane Allen. This is another book that I picked up because I just wanted a different perspective on characters and life. The blurb on the back kind of goes like this. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but with a coveted position at a local news reporter, a paper-perfect boyfriend, and even a standing Sunday morning appointment with a reliable hairstylist, everything seems to be falling into place. Then Tabby receives an unexpected diagnosis that brings her picture-perfect life crashing down. dot dot dot. And I like downer stories. Not to say that I don't know how this ends, but it kind of has a downer, like it's going to be a downer thing. So I kind of enjoy that when they're well told. And like I said, just wanted something with a different perspective on life and writing and all that good stuff. Next up, got Frankenstein by Mary Shelley. No, I've never read Frankenstein. It's been on the list ostensibly forever, and I just think it's kind of cool. You know, she's often credited with being essentially the creator of science fiction. So I wanted to give this one a go. I'm of course familiar with the general story, but never read it. So that is now on the TBR. Final book that I'm going to talk about is The Fifth Season by N.K. Jemisin. And I mainly picked up this book as sort of research to a degree, or to kind of check myself, because, let's see, about in 2009, I started working on a story, and I kind of just put it off, didn't really do anything with, but I would kind of mentally circle back to it a number of times. And then I sort of by coincidence, I kind of stumbled across that there are some similarities in some of the ideas that I had in this book. She won 3 Hugo Awards in a row, which is pretty amazing. It's never been done before. The Hugo Award is like the big sci-fi and fantasy book award. But the opening line here is, let's start with the end of the world, why don't we? And the main thing I kind of circled back to start working on again kind of starts with that line too, to a degree. It's framed a little bit differently. But I'm about 60 pages in, and it's pretty apparent anything I was thinking of is very different than this book. But there are a couple key things that do have similar elements. So, like I said, just want to make sure I'm not copying anybody, I guess. And it's really good so far. She does some really cool stuff with the narrative here. I got to chapter 4, so that's pretty much it. Well, that's pretty much going to do it for this one. I sure hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, go ahead and hit that like button. If you'd like to see more videos from me, please hit that subscribe button. As I always say, it makes me feel like I accomplished something, but otherwise, I guess I will see you in the next one. Bye.